everyone, welcome back to Heroes Workshop. This is Stefano, aka Stealth. I'm here to bring you another cosplay that I've built. It is an old one, pretty relevant. So what I do here, I make cosplays no one wants to see. Well, until you see them and then you're like, damn, I forgot about that. And that cosplay is the Snake Eyes suit from G.I.JOE Retaliation. This is the sequel, obviously, to the first film. It's a huge upgrade from the first film's costume. That, I don't know. The first film's suit was terrible. The one with the mouth. What the hell? Look at this. Look at this mouth. Why? Why did you guys do this? So you can see here the upgraded suit from the second film. Snake Eyes finally gets some cool armor and some change. He actually gets a helmet and looks proper, like a modern version of how Snake Eyes should look like. To build the costume, as usual, I used EVA foam paper file templates. And you can find them on my website, heroesworkshop.com. And you get the templates. Follow along on the beginner tutorial if you're new. And that way you apply those techniques that you learned in the beginner tutorial. And you can apply them to this suit here. So the total time it took to make the Snake Eyes cosplay, and all the armor parts and stuff, was probably 2.5 weeks. Because it's basically just the upper armor, so it's not really like a full suit, but it didn't take too long. So it can be a beginner project if you really want to try this out. So, but remember to learn the techniques first from the beginner tutorial before you tackle something like this. Don't just start making it and you're like, what do I do, man? Watch the beginner tutorial. Do it, man. Okay, so first off, here's the Snake Eyes helmet. Like I said, everything is made out of EVA foam. Even the visor, yes, is EVA foam. So this is a very fitted helmet. You don't want to make it too much of a bobblehead because you want that narrow opening. So a way to get around the helmet being too tight is make sure you glue one side. This is what I did. You don't have to do this. You can figure out other ways. So I glued one side shut, and then this side here, I kept it open and I have it attach and reattach with magnets. So you can see here, there's just some plastic right over the magnets, thin plastic that I glued down. That way the magnets don't come up even after they're glued. And then you put it on your head and then you let go, and then it snaps back in place. Yeah, it works perfectly. That way you can have that nice fitted look of the helmet and you don't have to have a bobblehead. For the visor, yes, like I said, it is foam, but what I did to achieve this look, this shiny look, to make it look like a visor made out of plastic, is I used perforated mesh with a sticky back. So I cut it to size and I trim off the excess around so it's nice and clean. And then I use a heat gun, go over the visor, and then it loosens up this so that way you can press the perforated mesh into the slots here, and it gives it some kind of, 3D effect, I guess. So it's not just so flat. I can see well enough to go to a convention and I shouldn't have any issues. So for the mouth area here, you can see that nice texture, and also on the side here, on both sides. What I used was speaker mesh. I just cut it to size using the template piece for this section of foam and here as well. And I just put some spray adhesive on the mesh and then I stuck it on. I'd say make these things a little bit bigger than the template by maybe a few millimeters. That way it'll fit much better. Okay, so here's the chest armor, also made out of EVA foam. So some different things went into this and some different fabrics to get this look. So up here on around the collar, shoulder area, he has, there's like leather. So I just used faux leather, made a template, which I included for this as well. So I made this section on both sides out of EVA foam, and then I covered it in the faux leather on both sides. And then I added these eyelets to both sides as well. So these 3 stomach sections, I also made templates, which are included with the file pack. This I covered with a different kind of speaker mesh, just to give it some different texture. I don't want it all looking the same. So this here was a different mesh fabric along with this, same thing, just to give it a bit of different feel. So I just used this different mesh. It's what I had, and just to give it a different look. I wasn't trying to go for movie accuracy. I was just trying to give it some nice aesthetic, so everything didn't look all the same. And then over these stomach sections, I just grabbed some, I think this is 1.5 inch nylon strap and a buckle on both sides and just glued it underneath because he has some kind of buckle strap system there. And then I added some rivets here. These are real rivets. Now for the back, which I really like, turned out really nice. So there's a back kind of section here, which I also have a template for included. It's to hold the scabbard. I covered this in the same material that I did with this and the front stomach plate. So I got a training sword and it came with the scabbard. First I drew the brick pattern on the fabric and then I stuck it on with contact cement. And then I covered this because there's some rope on the scabbard as well. And then I used some black string. There's a specific name for it, I forgot what it's called. So to get the scabbard to stay on, I just put some EVA foam here and glued it to the scabbard. And then it stayed on really nice, so I don't have any worries of this thing falling off. And also up here, I got a little strip of that same fabric and I kind of went over the scabbard to hold it there too. I don't have any worries of this ever falling off at a con or anything like that. And then I got some airsoft pouches. I just stuck them on the back. And I cut this down so it's just like a different length because they were both the same length. And then I added some just random straps and glides here. I just glued them behind because he has those on his suit. There's another one here. And then some D-rings. And I also have a cheap toy knife that I just stuck on the back because he does have a knife on his back plate as well. One last few things. I added some foam in the chest just to make the chest kind of puff out a bit more when you're wearing it. You don't want it to be flat. So I also added 2 nylon straps here. The reason is you don't want the weight to be on the fake leather and the foam as the bridge, like what's holding it onto your body. You want this to take all of the weight, this nylon strap, because it can take it. So as long as it's on there, this won't deteriorate and won't start to come loose. These stay on, these are glued. These don't come on and off. These are glued directly onto the foam armor. So before I attach these, first I put on the shoulders. I'll lift this, put one shoulder on, and put the other shoulder on and make sure everything's lined up. So when I have these straps here, they go underneath and they just buckle. There, and then you take these two, go underneath the back. So here are the shoulders, and underneath, this is where it's key. So I added a strip of EVA foam, I think it's 8mm, and some Velcro. And I also added the rivets here too because it has rivets. Okay, so here are the biceps. I also added a strap that goes around your bicep. Then you just run it through and then glue it down so it doesn't move. I also added this kind of piece of faux leather. I just kind of sandwiched the elastic strap in between, and just to give it a little bit of detail and contrast from the black, because he does have a lot of brown leather on his armor. So to attach it to my shirt, I put some Velcro here. So to wear it properly and have it not slide down, I put some Velcro here and here. Make sure you do that for this costume or any costume. You don't want these sliding down because it's supposed to overlap. So you don't want this sliding down and then having this tuck underneath, because that kills the aesthetic. So you gotta make sure it doesn't move. Okay, so keep that in mind. So this is the forearm armor. I also added the elastic straps for this and the brown faux leather just to give it some contrast, and then the rivets in the center part here. So Snake Eyes also has a knife. This is non-functional whatsoever. This is just handmade out of foam. It's just to give the illusion of like one of those Kydex kind of vac formed like sheaths, and this is just foam, and I covered it in the string, same string I used before, and it doesn't come out or anything. It's just for looks. And then I added rivets and I kind of colored them in with black paint just so they weren't so shiny. And I also added this loop here, which actually works on the belt. But yeah, this is a non-functioning, just aesthetic prop. There's your belt. There's your tactical belt. I think that's pretty much all that's on the belt. And then I got these armored gloves, also off Amazon. These ones are really nice. They really go well with the whole Snake Eyes armor and the aesthetic. I got these tactical boots off Amazon as well. I use these for a lot of cosplays in the past. These always are good because they have the nice zipper on and off. Makes everything so much easier. Plus these boots look really nice and perfect for this costume. And I got these tactical pants off Amazon as well. Pretty straightforward. Nothing too crazy about it. They're just nylon ripstop tactical pants. Under the helmet, you're gonna want a balaclava to wear. It helps, you know, keep the sweat away from your helmet as well. That way you don't show your neck either. Just tuck it into your shirt. And then you have the tactical shirt that I was telling you about with the Velcro sleeves. See? You can see here, that's where I added the extra square for the bicep so it doesn't fall down. So for the sword, I just made this handle out of EVA foam, and this guard also out of EVA foam. I bought like a cheap kind of cosplay sword. I think it's wood or yeah, I think it's wood material. I just put the logo on there, both sides. This sword was supposed to be based off of the one that Snake Eyes and Jinx fight over in the film. And I was supposed to paint it, I think it's like a canary yellow kind of color, but I haven't done it yet. I might just leave it black, I don't care. It looks better black, to be honest. I also have the licensed sword from Disguise. I was gonna use this. I got it and I was all excited because it looks pretty good. I always like this one with this kind of handle and the guard and everything, but it doesn't fit in my scabbard that's on my back. I don't really feel like making a new setup for the scabbards. Yeah, so I'll just use the other sword. This one I don't know, who knows. Maybe I'll carry this one around at a con and just have no sword in my back, or just bring both swords. I think this is actually based off the first film sword. I'm not sure. I can't remember if the handle was like this in the second film as well, but we'll see. I'll have to check. I don't remember. So these are all the parts for the Snake Eyes armor. All that's left is to suit up and show you what it looks like. So that was my Snake Eyes cosplay from G.I. Joe Retaliation, handmade out of EVA foam. And remember to like the video, comment down below. It helps the video spread to other people who may be also interested in seeing this. And remember to subscribe to Heroes Workshop. That way you can be updated on any future cosplay projects. This is Stealth, and I'll see you guys soon.